we're going to start with this. It's best practice to install Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics in a SuiteCommerce Advanced website. You have to keep in mind that there are two ways to do this, and it will depend on the version of the website that you are running right now. Okay, so here's a recap of the version of SEA, right? The oldest one is Denali, and the latest one is the 2020. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the Aconcagua version and earlier. Well, there are 4 steps required to do this. Okay, first of all, sign up for Google Tag Manager. Add Google Tag Manager ID to the configuration record. I will be getting deeply in one of these with details later, but just as a summary of what we're going to do. Create a JSON file through the Google Tag Manager Container Generator, and finally import the JSON file to the Google Tag Manager admin. So let's go ahead and get started with the first one. Just log into your Google account and go to Tag Manager and create an account. This is a pretty easy step. Okay, after you finish, just you will see a page like this, and there are some important parameters that you might take notes here. The first one is the account ID that is on the URL. The second one is the container ID, and the last one is the Google Tag Manager ID over here. We are going to use these variables later. Okay, add Google Tag Manager ID to the configuration record. This is pretty easy. Go to your NetSuite admin and go to Setup, SuiteCommerce Advanced, and Configuration. And there is a field under the Integration tab and the Google Tag Manager sub-tab, and you need to paste the Google Tag Manager ID. This one over here. All right. You need to paste it on the configuration record in this field on the Google Tag Manager ID. Okay. The third step is create a JSON file using the Google Tag Manager Container Generator. This is a page that NetSuite come to us and bring us a way to create a file to upload to Google Tag Manager. It's pretty easy. So you just need to, on the developers portal, search for the Google Tag Manager Container Generator. I will put the link here so you can access. And you will have a page just like this. And there are some important variables that you need to paste here, okay? The first one is the Google Tag Manager account ID. And the second one is the Google Tag Manager container ID. And these are the variables that I present on the previous slide, the account ID and the container ID, okay? Then, if you have Google AdWords, you can just put the conversion ID, conversion label. And the most important here is the tracking ID, which is a famous UI on Google Analytics. That is the link between Google Tag Manager and Analytics. And the second one is the cross-domain, okay? After you finish, you will download a file. And the last step is to go to Google Tag Manager, click on the admin tab, click on import container, select override if this is the first installation of Google Tag Manager, and finally confirm, okay? So after you finish with that, the Google Tag Manager page will look like this. You will see that some triggers and variables and tags will be created on the account by default. And this is the standard implementation of Google Tag Manager in a SuiteCommerce Advanced website for the Aconcagua and earlier versions.